Hey guys, it's the Trucking Millennial, and today I'm going to be talking about what it's like driving for a food service company. And before we start this video, I'd like to mention that I will be giving out a $100 Visa gift card to one person that likes, subscribes, and comments on this video. Without further ado, let's begin. Now, food service trucking is essentially getting a truck with a trailer loaded with frozen product, dry goods, and refrigerated product. And usually it'll be separated just like that, freezer, cooler, and dry. And there might be other names that other people use, but that's essentially what it is. Each compartment will have different temperatures according to what kind of product it is. Freezer below 32, cooler usually below or around 40, and then dry it usually isn't, it doesn't have a temperature control. So essentially what you'll be doing for these food service companies is taking the food to hotels, hospitals, restaurants, schools, and dropping the corresponding foods like the freezer, cooler, or dry items and whatever area that these places ask you to put it. Usually it's in their freezers in their freezer, their coolers in their cooler, and their dry is in some type of dry storage area. But sometimes people will have you put stuff in different areas so they can check it in, etc. Now, let's talk about what it's like working. Like the pros. The pros is usually these are local positions. So you're home every single night sleeping in your bed. And also, they're usually hourly paying jobs, so you're not paid per mile, which is a straight up ripoff, we all know. So that's actually a plus. But let's talk about some of the negatives. You're probably going to be working 14 to 16 hours, and maybe you like that. I personally don't, but if you like that, then maybe that's not a con for you. So you're not really home every night. You're home to sleep and eat and shower, and that's pretty much it. The hours. There's basically a plethora of other stuff that's bad about it, but I'm just going to go through what the daily task that you'll be doing and point out the negative things as we go. So you'll get your trailer. It's going to be full of food, and you'll have 20-ish stops, maybe less, maybe more, anywhere from 5 to 20 plus stops that you're expected to offload in 14 to 16 hours. But as you go throughout the day, you'll see that stop 1 is mixed in with stop 20. And so you'll be digging and digging, and as you dig, you're going to be organizing your boxes, which this is the part that's kind of backbreaking and almost not worth the money. But you organize as you go, and you find your stop 1 stuff. As you get to your stop 1, you're timed. So the faster you dig, the better, I guess, the bosses will stay off your butt. But sometimes, your food product that you're looking for is in literally the worst spot that you could possibly need it to be. So that messes you up on your time. So that's one of the cons, I believe, is that basically you're just digging and digging and digging and digging all day until your back finally breaks out and you need surgery. At least a lot of the guys that I've worked with have had surgery on something. So yeah, you're timed. So you do that, you unload, and you're off to your next stop. Sometimes there's not enough room in the trailer to organize the next stops either because it's all so mixed together. And so I want to talk about why everything is all mixed together. Well, the warehouse workers, they're also timed with how fast they get the product on there. So I'm assuming they just don't care about what's in what order or palletizing stuff. So they just throw it on there. And you would think that the companies would realize that if they organized it in a way that they could get it off or even did sections of a pallet at a time, that they'd be more efficient, but obviously they don't care. You're actually incentivized if you can get it off within the time periods that they give you. Most of the time they'll give you a bonus, which 90-something% of the people just don't hit because they're just not realistic. But you'll also be waking up at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, so then that way you can get done in time. So yeah, that's a con. But I'm sure a lot of driving jobs are like that. That is essentially you'll be waking up super early. So you go out throughout your day. Your stuff's unorganized. Most of the time, and not always, it depends on where your domicile is. The equipment's going to be junk. So you're driving unsafe junk because these companies usually are private fleets. So they maintain their stuff and they're all about numbers. So they don't care what they put you in. They just want to send you off and have you going, which is fine. I get it from a business perspective. Not really cool from a driver's perspective. Then you'll drop everything off. You'll head back to the domicile. And then you'll unload all the pallets and everything off your trailer and drop off the trailer for it to be loaded for whenever it gets loaded the next time it gets loaded. And essentially, you'll just repeat that. It can be really frustrating as far as the organization. But if you don't mind the organization, the hours, it can be a good job as far as paying. I personally don't see it as a good way to live because you're breaking down your body, and eventually the pay that you're getting, which is way more than per mile pay, is going to calculate into hospital bills. And that's one reason I just don't really care for food service jobs. But what do you guys think? What are your opinion on food service jobs? Do you guys like it? Did I miss anything? How much are you guys making an hour? Would you guys recommend it to anyone? Until next time, I'm the Trucking Millennial, and I'll catch y'all next time.